everyone, welcome back. I'm just going to take a second and I'm going to load our video and our comments. There we go. And I'm going to move this a little bit so we can see what we're doing. And that all looks good. Alright, I'll give everyone a second to come in. And I'm super excited, guys. So we're going to be working on the next stages of this journal. And I'm going to kind of show you what we're looking at and where my thoughts are for this. So the first thing, we have our 3 journals that we did. So the first one is just covered in fabric. And then we're going to build our layers from here. And I'm going to do the base layers of everything else and get everything else sort of caught up to here. So my idea for this cover, so just to show you guys, in the last video, we had taken these 2 texture fade pieces from the die cut over here with the Tim Holtz Industrials, one of his newer ones with the grommets. There was 2 pieces additional to that, so that's what we have here. So I'm going to layer them. I'm thinking like that, just to give it a little bit of contrast, and I'm going to layer it with something else that's more opaque, I think, like maybe one of my wax sheets or something. It's going to go something like this on my cover. And then I have this amazing shell. And this is actually from the River Thames in England when my mom was visiting there. So she'd found it on the beach. So that's a really neat found object that's going to inspire this journal. So I'm thinking something like that for my cover. And of course I'm going to have like a way of actually drilling, like putting holes into my cover and attaching it this way to have it sort of look like it's sort of hanging on the side. So that's kind of the point, guys. Found objects, words that inspire you, symbols, it can be anything. And I'm looking at the cover, and we can pretty much decide either way. I like the little splotch here, so I've decided to go with this side as my front, opposed to this one. So all we've done so far is just cover this one in our Sethapter fabric. Hi, Edwin, thanks for joining. And I'm just going to do something kind of like that in terms of layering. So I haven't really decided too much for the mixed media, so I'm going to kind of decide that, because this next part that we're going to do, so I'm going to put those aside, and this one aside for now, because tonight what we're going to do is start layering our mediums and our effects paste. So I showed you guys last week, that's where I pretty much put everything down, where I wanted a bit of texture. So I have these here. This is all preliminary. It looks like a hot mess right now. I put down my cheesecloth. And as you can see, I absolutely love the effect that we get from the Paper Artsy. And I'll show you guys the product right here. My Paper Artsy Rusting Powder. See this one here, sprinkle on wet glue and spritz with water. Well, I get, and I follow quite a few people who use this product by Paper Artsy. And one of them is Megs Wilcock, and she's amazing. She's on YouTube, and Sethapter's demoed this product, and there's a few other artists as well, and it's just amazing. And we add vinegar. So instead of adding our water, I have a bottle here of water, and then I have another bottle here that I've added vinegar. So I can clearly tell the difference because, you know, one's looks like vinegar. And I give it a light spray. I take my product and I use it very little, and I just sprinkle it wherever I want it, and then I add another layer of my vinegar on top, and I let it dry. So this is basically where we have it. So I haven't done anything else to this, guys. All I've done is the rusting effect, and you can see where I have it thicker. I'm going to get more of like a metallic. I got metallic bits in here, if you guys can see that. I've got some metallic bits all in here, and then I've also got various shades of rusting. So you can do it this way and it's very controlled, or you can do it in a way where it's not controlled and you go over the whole surface of something. You can dye your fabrics, as you can see. You don't need to gesso them first. You don't have to do anything. And you can also, you can dye your papers. And I've watercolored with this. So you can get variations of what your rusting looks like depending on when you're moving it around with water. It kind of thins it out and moves it around. So I just wanted to share that. And this product also works amazing with the infusions. And the infusions that I used on this one was Rusty Car. And as you can see, it gives you like a total contrast. So it's like a whole different effect, but the same sort of rusted kind of grungy feel. So these are products that I love to use together. So this one we're essentially making to look rusted and rustic and old. And then the other one we're going to do in patina. So this is going to be like a copper and a blue metallic sort of patina. And I'm going to be using a wide variety of products that I like. So what I've done so far is I've added some of this drywall joint tape. So I have a huge spool of that here. Mine's just a generic brand, and I wasn't worried about it being sticky or to this or that. All I have to do is just put some PVA glue down, and then I can glue it down, and then I can mix media over top of it. So that's kind of what I've done. And so this is all glued down, and I can add my mixed media to here. So that's what we're going to do now. So I can kind of decide how we're going to go about these next steps. So the last step obviously is to add our paints and more of our layered like effects paste and things. Whereas this one is just going to give us more texture. So the other thing I have in front of me is my favorite stencils. So I can't recommend this one enough, guys. This is by Delusions from Ranger. This is called a large journaling stencil. So basically what this does is it takes your sections and breaks it up into blocks. So this is going to be great when we start doing some more art journaling. So if you guys are going to follow me to do some of that kind of stuff, I can't recommend this enough. Because we're going to be using this as a masking stencil to break out some of our pages and things into blocks and sections. And it also helps you to work linearly. So I can teach you how to do that. So if you guys want to think about picking up a stencil for some of the future videos that I'm going to do in January, this is definitely one that I recommend. So I just wanted to share that. These are my Stuff After stencils that I have here that I'm going to be working with. So just to kind of show you, that one's called Gridlock. No. Grateful. Sorry guys, this is Grateful. This is one of his mixed media stencils. This one here is mixed media 1. And this has 2. This is like an ATC. Yeah, mixed media ATC stencil 1 and 2. And I believe this one's, this is number 1. And there's another one in his shop that's number 2. And then I have this one here, which is one of his new grid stencils. And I think it's called, I'm not sure what it's called, guys, sorry. And this one here is called Unfinished. And this one here is another Stencil Girl stencil, but I love it. It's so neat. It's kind of like trouble patterns. I love it. And I have some Robin McClendon stamps that's going to go really well with this. So these are what I'm going to be using. For the weather journal, I haven't really decided yet, but I pulled out a stencil with some shells and some different things on it. I have an All in Create with gears. And then these are also from Seth. And they're just really super fun shapes. So this one is like a stained glass sort of pattern. There's a bullseye here, and then a splatter, and then the 3 rings. So I just wanted to share that. These are some of the stencils I'm going to be using. And I have my Tim Holtz up there as well. So I'm just going to kind of pull as we go. So I'm super excited, and I want to get right into it. And I'm going to share some of the products here that I love to use. And as you guys know, Liquitex is one of my go-tos. So I'm just going to go through them. We're going to start lining them up here. So I have Light Modeling Paste by Liquitex. I have Gesso by Liquitex. White Gesso. I have Matte Fluid Medium by Liquitex. I have Ceramic Stucco Effects Paste by Liquitex. I have Glass Beads Effects Paste by Liquitex. I have Rust Effect Paste by Prima Marketing. And I have that in the brown rust. I have it in yellow rust. And I have it in red rust. Okay. And then I have Crackle Paste, and I have Platinum Crackle. So this dries to a platinum finish, but I can still paint over it. Now, the fun thing too, I'm going to be using a lot of paper artsy paints, And Paper Artsy acts as a gesso. So I just wanted to share that. It's going to be able to cover literally anything I have under it. So that's going to be fun. And then I have the Patina Effect paste, and I have it in blue, and I have it in brass. So that's going to be used on our other cover. And I have different bronze acrylic paints. So we're going to be trying some different techniques. Okay, so that's what we're going to be using tonight. I'm going to move my stencils over to the side here. Oh, and the other thing that I didn't show. This is the same product as Tim Holtz grit paste, but this is called Coarse Texture Medium by Liquitex Basic Acrylics. Now, the other thing I wanted to share, if you're using inks, so tonight we're not using inks, we're using like all these sort of things, and we're going to be using Paper Artsy paints and probably some, again, these ones which have like an oil base, right? So they're not an ink or a light pigment. When you're using an ink or a light pigment, almost like a watercolor product, you want to use a watercolor texture paste. So I'll show you that once we get into doing watercolors again, but I don't recommend using any of your products like this, like your light modeling paste and your crackle paste and your products like this. These are acrylic mediums, and your inks and your watercolors are not going to stick to it. So I just wanted to let you guys know that you need to have like a watercolor ground for your texture paste. So I will get into that later once we go back to those kind of products. I do love them inside the journal, but for a journal cover, you're going to want something that's more durable, because you're going to have people touching it with their hands, and you're going to touch it with your hands, to flip through it. It might be something that you're going to work in all the time. It could be a gift for a friend. You might sell your journals. So I recommend using products on your covers that are not going to come off in your hands, like inks or oxides, or products that are more permanent, so they're not going to move when they get wet, because you have to seal it, right? So I just wanted to let you guys know that. So we're going to get right into it. I'm super excited. So, the other thing too, I'll grab some of my Tim Holtz, because these have more of we can build some different patterns here. Stuff everywhere. Sorry, guys. Here we go. Just need to slide this one here down. Here, I'll just do it here so you can see what I'm doing. So this is how I have this little box. This is my thread. I have my brayers here, and I have some book page tags, and this is where I have my Tim Holtz stencils. So I'm going to pull some of these. These are like numbers and letters and different things. I like this one here with the little grid sort of thing. I have a big one here with that. Skip over this. And we're just going to flip and flip. I don't want florals. I don't want like crazy patterns either. Just grungy marks. No Christmas. Sorry guys, it's just going to take me a second. There's my grind. Oh, my grind. Okay, that one. Okay. Grateful. That one. Let's pull both of these up. There's another one with numbers. Oh, grid marks. Just like options here. We'll be using all these. Okay. Sorry guys, I do have a lot. And I like that one. That's one of my favorites. Crackle texture. That's a must. Okay, for this project. Okay. Here we go. I don't think a damask, and I'll take the little splatters. Grunge and Grime, the two different ones that I have. And the other one I'm looking for is just the bubbles. There we go. Bubbles. Okay. And I will put the rest back up here. Sorry guys, it just took me a minute to get situated. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is add some texture. So we can use our regular modeling paste, or we can start adding some grit and some texture. So maybe some grit. This is our really junky, like our really grungy one, and kind of steampunk looking. So I have two products here. One is coarse texture medium and the other ceramic stucco. This one looks more like sand and this one looks more like grit. So it's super fun and you'll be able to see the difference when I start adding some things. So I want some three-dimensional numbers. Here we go. So I have this one here. So maybe let's do, I like the number 5. And what we're going to do, so you guys can see, we're going to kind of tie a lot of this in. And I'm going to use both. I have a silicone brush with me, and I also have my palette knives. So whatever you're comfortable with, feel free to use. So let's start out with the, I'm thinking grit paste for this one. All right, so I'm just going to put some right here on my glass media mat, just like that. I don't have to add pigment to this right away. I'm going to be able to paint over it once it's dry. Okay, there we go. Stephanie says I have everything. Sometimes it feels like I don't, but I do have quite a bit of product, yes. Probably more than most. And I also compare products. And the only thing that I don't buy, I try to stick more to for the effects. See, to me, it all falls into two categories, right? And I've mentioned this before, where you're buying your craft quality products and your artist quality products. So where I feel like I'm alright to do the craft quality products, or your things like your distress, because I love Tim Holtz inks and oxide sprays and his ink pads and oxide pads and that sort of thing. I love those products. Seth Apter's, Paper Artsy Infusions. I even really like their grunge paste. Maybe we'll use some of that too. It's a really thick texture paste. See, I'm loving that. And as you guys can see, that's so much like texture. So this is what I meant, guys, by building our layers and pulling things together. And you're not going to see any of this because we're basically going to have a whole layer of this. And then we're going to start adding our pigments in, and it's just going to blend everything. So I just wanted to share that. And maybe do a 3 over here. Because this is another little spot that I don't like, is right here. So, sorry guys, back on topic of the products. When it comes to your texture paste and your products like this, your grit paste, I much prefer Liquitex. And it's only because, well, for one, see, the quality of Tim Holtz isn't too bad, but where the quality is lacking is the shelf life. And that's my biggest complaint with his products, is that you have maybe, especially with this tiny little containers that he has, they're 2 or 3 ounce containers, you have a shelf life of about 4, maybe 5 or 6 months max with his containers. So that's my only pet peeve, because I mean, when I buy gesso, I want a 16 ounce container that I can get for the same price as, you know, for say 20 bucks. So that's like the same price that I'd pay for, you know, a 2 ounce container of Tim Holtz or even Dina Wakley's, right? And this is going to last longer because the bottles are better quality and it lasts years. I bought this one back when I replaced my gesso, was probably back in 2020. So this is 3 years going strong, and my product is just as good as the day that I bought it. So no complaints here. So that's, you know, if you're going to spend the money, you want good quality products that are going to last. So that's my whole thing with that. So that's why I choose products like that. Golden's another great one. Golden is artist quality as well. It's just really expensive in Canada, so that's why I use Liquitex. So I just wanted to share that. And then, yeah, my paints, and I like a combination of things, right? So like I like to use paints that are both craft quality as well as artist quality. And I find the paper artsy paints amazing, especially for when we're doing our art journaling and mixed media, because you can mark make over them easily, whereas you can't do that very easily with your regular acrylic paints because they have that gloss finish to them. So that's why I like to use a wide variety of products. And it's just a lot of fun. And that's the whole thing, mixing them together and playing. Okay, so now I need my water. Of course, I moved that. Yeah, right back up here. That's the vinegar. That's the water. And I do love Tim Holt's Distress line. His Distress crayons, Distress inks and oxides, and the sprays and the oxide spray and spray stains. I love those products. They are a lot of fun to work with, and the fluid ink pads, they're amazing. And any of the ink sprays, I have a set of Delusions, and I also love Seth Aptors, and his are just fabulous, yummy colors. So, and they're all different colors. So that's the great thing too, and they all play nice together. So I can't recommend those enough. But those are for me more for the inside of the journal. Okay, so I've got my 535 on there. So this is a relatively slow process because we're just going to keep building. So anywhere where I don't like my texture and I don't like where things are going, I can sort of add some other stuff in and we can build our layers. So I just want to clean up a little bit as we go. There we go. Because you don't want grit paste stuck to your stencil. Okay, now let me see here. I have the All in Create gears. They were here. Perfect. Okay. And I'm going to do those in the corner to kind of continue with like our steampunk sort of thing. And this stage looks like a hot mess, and it's supposed to look like a hot mess, guys, because this is just basically our preliminary layer that we are creating out of texture. So now, I'll show you guys. Okay, there we go. So I can get in frame here. Excellent. So I want to line this up now. Okay. That's probably not a good one for this, because these are not going to, it's the opposite way. Let's see here. Sorry, guys. I'm just kind of playing as we go. Maybe some more numbers. Let's do this one. And this is the great thing. We don't have to be perfect and straight, and we don't have to, see if we can do something like that. Maybe line it up here. That's awesome. Right there. Okay. Just like that. And we'll use ceramic stucco for this one. Here we go. So there's my ceramic stucco. And it's going to dry like a sand sort of texture. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to pull some out. And this is more, compared to the grit paste, this is more of a fluffy texture. But it's still kind of filled with grit. So, but there is a difference in how it feels. I just want to use a little bit to start. I want to make sure I get it right in there. There we go. And I do really like the silicone brushes for this. I'm just able to push my product a lot easier. I like the palette knives for adding texture in. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Okay, very carefully we're going to lift that right up. So it looks super grungy still. And then anywhere where you have a mistake, you can just come in like that and give it a little wipe off like that. So that has now, and I'll show you guys, I'll pull it close. That has now tied that in. If you guys can see. Sorry guys. There we go. There. So it's pulled our from one texture to the other. Okay, so that's what we're going to keep doing with our layering. Okay, and I don't want too much three-dimensional stuff on the back of the book. But I'm going to do the same color scheme, and you guys will see what I mean when we get there. I just want the first parts of this front cover done. There, so we've got some more numbers here. Okay, perfect. Yep. 1 to 8. We've got 5 through 5 across the front. Let's do I have some mini numbers here. Let me see. I have that one too with the grunge. You know what? I'm going to do that right across the spine. I like that. This is going to have a stitch spine, but it'll just make it look even more grungy. So I'm going to use, I'll show you guys, just like that. Maybe like this. I'll have to do that in sections. Alright, I'll have to wait till this dries before I do that, or I'm going to smear my 5. Let me see here. I have this one by Seth. I think I'm going to use one of the Seth ones now. Because I like that added texture. And this is like a bullseye. It's going to kind of pull things in. Let's do this towards the top. I haven't used this one yet, so I'm opening it. And it's called Splat. Here we go. This one is called Splat. So I like that right here. Right up at the top, right there. And that's what we'll do here to tie that in. Okay. So I'm going to flip this around. I'll just move that for now. Here we go. And I like to turn my book all the way around too as I'm doing different things, where I can kind of figure out how I want to position and place things. And I don't want to worry too much about composition right now, because again, I can completely change this later and layer over things and add all kinds of stuff. So that's the other thing, and Seth teaches that too, guys. Don't get too attached to your layers, because you cover them. So what you have on one layer, you might not have when you add, 4 or 5 more layers. Things are going to change. There we go. I want that raised enough here. I don't want to go underneath my stencil either. It's going to tie things in. There we go. I'm going to lift that up. And that kind of does look like a hot mess, but that's okay, because I can cover that. I love the circle though, if you guys can see. The circle is awesome. So I didn't quite get that, but it's going to be perfect for what it is. And I tied that in. Do you see how that was kind of a hot mess before as well? Like, it didn't make sense of what was going on there. Now it's going to start coming together, making more sense once you start adding your layers together. So I love that. That's really cool. And then what I want to do is pull this in again. And I just want to do this right here on this corner right there, just to add a little layer so it ties it in. But it's not taking from the top. I think doing another full circle would be way too much, but just adding this extra little piece right in the corner here, it's going to look really cool. And it's going to pull that all in. There we go. So I have that circular band, and that's okay. And even though I didn't quite get what I wanted with the detail of that, because I am using very, very thick ceramic stucco effects paste, it's going to give me texture. And the wonderful thing about this product too, guys, is I can either tone it down or I can build it up. So anywhere where I have it, and I want something to look dimensional, even like that, it'll dry like that. So anywhere where I want any dimension, it'll dry exactly how I have it, without it shrinking. So it's super awesome. So I just wanted to share that. Okay, so I'm going to take a second. I'm going to clean my stencil, and then we can go forward with the next thing. So this is just the first part of the cover. And I'm thinking even I want something in here too, maybe a little bit more numbers. And I have a smaller stencil of the same one, so maybe we'll do that. I'm loving that from Seth, where it just kind of pulls that all in, gives it a focal point. Because I don't really have a focal point in mind for this journal yet. I do for the weather journal. I have my found seashell that I showed you guys, which is super fun. Okay, let's get it off my brush. And the grit more, I think I'm going to just do on the steampunk journal because it's really grungy. And I'm going to go with maybe even the sand texture on the other one. I haven't really decided yet. But yeah, you don't want any of your grit paste or your texture paste like that on your stencils. You want to get it off right away. And that's the easiest way to clean your glass media mat, is to do it all while it's wet. Yeah, this is not something you want dried on here. And it's super gritty. It's completely stuck to me. There we go. And once that's dry, we can add in our effects paste and start building things up and using stencils with that product too. So I just wanted to share that. So there's all kinds of different ways to build our texture, and these products will all eventually work together. So it's a lot of fun. I want to do this like sort of grungy thing on here, but I'm going to end up affecting the 5, so I don't want to do that yet. But I do have where I just had it. Okay, that was my smaller numbers for here, and then I have that other one. Here we go, because I used the bigger last. Yep, and found stencil. And I have here the mini. Okay. Here we go, right here. And then I can do the numbers small, like right across here, I'm thinking. Somewhere to tie it in, maybe across here. That'll be great right there. Okay, so let's do that, and then we'll just use our regular texture paste. And this is super fluffy, and I've had this a long time, very long time, 4 years, I think. Yep. I don't use this one a lot, but it is really nice when I do. So again, guys, these are very, very preliminary layers. So it's going to look like a hot mess until we have everything down and positioned exactly where we want it. The key is to have a vision and don't let the hot mess look of it discourage you, because it's going to take a little bit for this to start taking shape. And I think that's an easy way to get discouraged, because we're not seeing our results immediately. So I just wanted to share that, and we're all kind of, and share that, it's a journey and we're all kind of in the same boat, right? So I cannot recommend it enough. Just have a little bit of vision with it, and then you will find that your results are amazing. Because I had that struggle too, guys, trying to learn how to step out of the box and try different things, because, afraid that it's going to look like a hot mess, afraid that we're going to make mistakes and it's not going to look good, and wasting our products or whatever. So just remember that you're literally, you're only like a layer or two away from, where it should be. Because right now our layers look horrendous, right? And that's how they're supposed to look until we get everything layered properly. And as you can see, as we go on, the less it's going to look like it's missing stuff. So now I want to let this dry, and then I can go on to, we'll do the back covers after. So I'm going to go ahead and put this one aside to completely dry, because I don't want to mess any of that up either. And then I can add some more stuff. And we're going to do it all together live. And if it takes 20 videos, that's okay. So there's no rush, and we're just going to keep building and working on it. Now I really love and I'm going to use this one here, the modeling paste. Modeling paste? Yeah, we're going to use modeling paste here. And I'm going to use Crackle. And this actually should be almost perfect to cover the back. So that is how I'm going to do the back of this one. So I'm going to turn it around upside down like this. Okay. I want you guys to see what I'm doing. Sorry guys, if I'm not in focus, just tell me and I'll move stuff. There we go. Okay. We want to put this right into the corner here. There we go. And I'm going to take a really good amount like this, and then I'm going to hold it and I'm going to drag it. And we're going to get into all the nooks and crannies here. Okay. Making sure I still have a generous amount all the way across, like that, and into the nooks and crannies. Okay, I need more. There we go. And this is the wonderful thing about the silicone brush, is that we're able to drag it all the way across and have a nice, we can make an even pattern where it's not as thick as what you get with the palette knife. So you can do it thinner, or you can do it thicker. And here we go. There we go. I just want to get right in that corner here. There we go. And we're just sort of evening it out now that I've got the whole thing covered. There we go. And I'm really happy with this. Okay, now I'm going to lift it up. And we're going to have a beautiful crackle texture. So I'm super happy with that. And I would even say that's probably better than what I'd get with a, like a crackle paste. So now what I want to do, very carefully, I want to hold this side up like this. I want to hold that up so it's resting here to the edge, but it's not going to interfere with the other edge, so I'm not putting it flat down. Because if I were putting this flat down, then it would affect what's on the other side of it. So this isn't going to be too bad for this one. This is probably going to have less layers. I just have more of a vision for this one, and I want to layer papers on top too. So I'm going to essentially, and where it's going to shine is all the mixed media that I'm adding on this texture. So it's going to have more basic texture than the other one. So I can show you different things with the 3 different journals, because that's why we have one that's just covered in fabric and we're building our layers on top of the fabric in one piece. Whereas these, we're going to do mixed media and then we're going to add textiles in and different things, and then we can build our textures from there. There we go. And very carefully we lift. And you can't really tell too much that I have that spot there. So I love how that kind of ties it in. So now I'm going to give this a quick clean, and then we're just going to go on to the next thing. So I'm happy with that for the back. Need a paper towel. There we go. And I find this one whips off relatively easy because it doesn't have any extra texture to it. It's just the modeling paste. Okay. So I'm just going to give that a little spray. I like to clean my stencils as we go. And I'm sorry, guys, I just don't want these to, we are going to be live for a while, so I don't want the texture paste drawing to my stencils. So I just find they're easier to clean after if I do that. Then they're not caked with our pastes and our stuff. Okay, there we go. And then that one here I'm going to put aside as well. There we go. And now I can just clean this up off my desk so I don't end up with it all over my shirt. Okay, then we're going to slide this over, and I can just come in here and pick it up. Because it's easier to pick up once it's wet. So when it's dry, it's like next to impossible, and you have to scrub your mat. And I still that texture all stuck to me. Okay, there we go. Sorry, guys. So now we're back here. So again, this is the top and the front, and then that's the bottom. So I'm loving that. Hi, Cheryl. Thanks for joining, love. So now we're going to use this product called Glass Beads. So I've opened it, but I haven't really used it too much. So I'm kind of excited to see what we're going to get. So I want to go over all of this pattern here. So we're going to kind of give this a little bit of substance. So this is a creamy product. This is more creamy, I would think, even than my texture paste. So this I'm going to use as like a filler, if that makes sense. So I'm going to go right over top of my drywall paste. Sorry, my drywall joint tape. Sorry, guys. And I'm going to layer this really thin, so I still have all the texture here. From my joint tape. Here we go. And I've already got all that texture from my texture paste here. So I'm not too worried about how exactly this is going to look in terms of like how thick or how thin it is. I'm just going to kind of let it sit, and I'm going to guide it right into the joint of here, the side of the crackle that we just did with the stencil. And I have that in highs and lows. And I did that on purpose too, guys. So we have it raised in some areas and lower in others. Here we go. And I'm just going to get this light coat all the way across. So I still have beads here and there. So I want to make sure that I'm dropping beads in all the areas here. Hi, Lorna. Thanks for joining, love. I have my tablet set up so I can see comments. There we go. So I have that like that, and I want to do the same thing here to the front, so we have like symmetrical. So I'm just going to come in and put this product down. So see, that's the product, guys, that gives us the filler to our drywall tape, but we're still going to get the texture all through it. If you guys can see that, it's fabulous. So it's going to have the beads, and it's going to be layered. So it's a lot of fun. Oh, I used a Tim Holtz stencil for that, for the crackle. So we cheated our crackle texture. It's funny because I do like to use the texture paste for the crackle, but I just find you don't get big enough cracks. I find that the best cracks come from stencils. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. Yeah, I find that. And I want to be careful that I'm not coming onto the spine with this, because I have something totally different in mind for the spine. There we go. I just want to get right in here to these edges. So this is what I like to do, guys, when just to make sure that we're doing things in layers and then letting them dry, and then I can come in and add more layers. And once we have all of our layers done, this is like a preliminary, your preliminary background layers, which is basically the point where you're building up all your textures and all your first layers of how, you know, your background's going to be. Then we can go ahead and start painting, and then we can start layering over top with like papers and different things, a focal point. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to show you guys this whole process step by step, and we'll go through it. Okay. I'm super happy with that. And then we can, again, put it like thicker and thinner in some places. I love how much beading I have there. And that is the glass beads from Liquitex. There we go. And I don't know if I want to do other stenciling on here yet. That might just be it for now, for that one, for this book. Oh, yeah, see, I find I have a lot of them too, and honestly, in the Liquitex brand, I love their effects paste, but I don't like their texture paste. I do like the Prima, and I have two products from Prima, Lorna. I've got the texture paste Platinum Crackle, and I have a silver one. But I find that even with these ones, I get the best crackle, but it's small. So in order to get a really good crackle like that, you need a stencil. Because I have yet to find a product that does it like this. And I'm going to try the Paper Artsy because I ordered their crackle medium as well, their crackle paint. And Tim Holtz crackle paint does and it's like his crazing. It's very thin and small, and you have to like add layers and layers and layers and layers of gesso in order to get it to react, because that causes the glitch. So this one here, let's see, there you go. This one here from Tim Holtz, this is called Crackle Layering Stencil, and I love this. This is the best for cracks and crackles. So essentially I just layered it. So I have it on one spot and then the other. Yeah. Just like that. And then we have our beads. And I'm not too worried. I have a little bit of extra textures here and there, and I'm just going to embrace that. And then I did the mosaic embossing folder for the other cover. And we're going to do something different here. I just haven't decided what yet. It's going to be a stitch spine. And then, of course, we want to cover up in here. But I might just do that with paint and leave this flat. And maybe add a word. We could do that after, once we start layering with other things. So I'm really happy with this one. So this one is kind of like less is more. And then I'll go back to the other one to show you guys. So we have that one here. And I'm just moving them to my countertop where they can sit and dry flat. Okay, here we go. This one here is our rusty journal that we're doing. So I've used Paper Artsy rusting powder to create the rust. And I've done now grit paste in Seth Apter stencils, and that's over top of both the cheesecloth that's rusted and the doily, the linen doily. And then I've done numbers across here that are super grungy to tie it in, and numbers across here and here. So I'll be able to embrace those layers. And then I pulled part of this texture here from the stencil here. And I love how grungy it is. It's not perfect, but it's more grungy. Oh, big hugs, Lorna. It's all good, sweetie. So for the back, and this is fun too, because he's got ETC 1 and 2. So these are about the size of a playing card, guys. So, yeah, about that. So these are going to be a lot of fun for doing different things. So for this project, I probably wouldn't use that one, but we will be using that in upcoming projects. And I'm not sure, maybe, so yeah, maybe something just super grungy, and we'll go right across the back. So this is from his new stencil release, and I really like this one. This is my favorite out of them, because I haven't ordered all of those yet. I only have this one. And there's from Stencil Girl. Oh, and it doesn't say on it. Just the number. Stencil Girl products. Anyways, it is beautiful. I'm going to have to write on these exactly what's what. I'm just not, maybe I'm just not seeing it. I don't know. But I love that. Okay, so let's turn this around now. And yeah, we'll do the back cover. I like this. And I have lots of room here to move stuff. Okay, and I want that to kind of be, yeah, see the top part of our focal point here? Or should we do this more like this? Because that's a great thing about Seth's stencils. We can, and his stamps too, actually, you can flip them, turn them, twist them, and do just about anything. And use them in bits and pieces. And we're going to have amazing stuff. And if I do it this way, then I have room to use my other favorite one, which is called Grateful. Yeah, let's do that. And just do this. All right, and we're going to use, no, I'm not going to use Crackle. Let's use, let's do a couple of different things. So I'm going to use the Finnebear products, guys. Let's use some red rust for this one, because this is kind of the fun part, right? Or, yeah. There we go. So essentially what this product is, this is like a texture paste, if you guys can see, but it's a grit paste. It's more fluid, it sticks to everything, and you don't need gesso. It's amazing. It even sticks to metal. And with this product, less is more, and it's pigmented. So this is kind of like a burnt sienna sort of color. So let's just give this a go. As you can see, less is more. And it's a really nice grit texture, and it's going to be permanent on my cover. And a little goes a very, very long way. So with these layers, I just basically want all my preliminary textures and background elements down. And then we can start adding our pigments and our colors and tying everything in, and add our stamping and our other elements and different things. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And it's just layer upon layer upon layer as we go. So I'm going to add them here. Okay. And I like that. Okay, and then here. And here. Okay. And then we're going to switch to yellow rust. And I'm just using water to clean off my brush. That's why I love using the silicone brush. Cleans everything right up. Super easy. And I can go right into yellow. There we go. And again, very little goes a very, very long way. And I'm using a fabric journal, but these two journals, sorry, yeah, there's 3 of them, but I'm using 2 of them for this series. But the 3 journals basically were stacked together, painted in acrylic paints, and decorated, and they were put on like a table for display. So when I bought them, that was what I had in mind, because they're very old books. They had like, one was an encyclopedia, one was a book of toasts, and one was, I'm not sure, something else. And so that was what I had in mind with them, just, you know, taking them apart and using them as journals. So that's why they're covered in acrylic paint, because they had already been repurposed, and I just repurposed them back. Because they were grungy and they'd been sitting a long time and they were kind of discolored, and the stuff that was glued to them was all falling off. So they weren't pretty. And for me, that's half the fun, rescuing things from the recycling. There, and I just want to layer this up so I'm not seeing through it. There we go. And then the last part I'm going to do in the dark brown rust. Here we go. And this one here, the brown rust. Here we go. And I'm just going to come right in like this. This has such a nice texture to it. They all do. And just like that. We're going to lift. And that is just beautiful. If you guys can see, oops, I put my finger in that. If you guys can see that. I am loving that. It is fabulous. There we go. So that is our cover here. There we go. Should be in frame. Perfect. Yep. And this is our top. Sorry, I have it upside down, guys. That is our top. Just like that. And that looks fabulous. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clean off my stencil, because that's not something you want to leave on there. Oh, I hope everyone's having a great week. And I wanted to let you guys know I am running a Black Friday sale in my Etsy shop. And all of my kits are on sale right now for $6 each. So I just wanted to let you know that, because they're usually $10. So this whole week I'm running them for $6 each. So I just wanted to let you know that. So, super fun. And I can't thank you guys enough for all your kind comments and your Etsy purchases and your support, guys. It means everything to me. So I really appreciate it, guys. And that you're here and you're watching videos. And now we're swapping again. And everything's going really well. And I can't thank you guys enough for all your love and support and kind comments. And I really appreciate it. And I'm at 523 subscribers, the last time I checked, on my YouTube channel. And as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers, guys, I'm going to probably do, I'm thinking to do a giveaway for a gift card to Seth After's shop. So I thought that might be super fun if we do that. And then you can choose some of your own products that you'd like from Seth. I love his shop. It's my favorite. And I need more paper towel. I'm covered. I'm live in our group on Wednesdays and Fridays, but this week it was Thursday and Friday. So I'll just basically let you guys know when I'm going to be live, and we'll just go with that with the flow. Just depends on how my week goes, guys, with my kids in school and stuff. Things are unpredictable sometimes. Extra meetings, different things happening, so I just wanted to let you know that. So it's just a matter of what's going on when. Doctor's appointments, I sometimes have to move my schedule around, but that's okay. So I just let you guys know, and we go from there. And Tuesday mornings, I'm live in my friend Louise Withers' group, and her group is Junk Journals and Mindful Mixed Media Art. And I upload all of my Facebook Lives to YouTube. So if you miss a video, you can catch the replay. Or if you're not in that group and you want to catch more of my videos, you can catch them on my YouTube channel. Whoops. I knocked that down. Okay. I'm just getting this effects paste off of my stencil. And it's pretty stubborn because it's, they're oil-based. Those two are, sorry, this set is like an oil-based product. I just wanted to show that. They're not water-based. So it is harder to get them off your stencil. I'll show you what I mean. Yep, we're staining already. That's okay though. For the most part, I have the texture part of it off, and that's the main part. Doesn't matter if they're colored. It'll probably come off on my gel plate anyway. Okay, so I'm going to put that aside now. So I'm super happy with how this is turning out. So as you guys can see now, we have our texture all over here, and it's that grit texture. So I'm super happy with that. And then over here we have the texture that we built up. And I'm happy with how this rusted. And then how I feel too, like if you wanted to and you wanted it more rusted, you could add more. This is where you'd go in with more vinegar and more product. So maybe we'll do that, and then we can just let it dry. Because I haven't done anything without you guys, so you can see exactly the whole entire process as we go. So up here I have my, my rusting powder. Okay, and now we're going to take our vinegar right here. Vinegar. Yep. And we're going to give that a little spray just to reactivate it right here. So anywhere we feel like we don't really have enough vinegar, sorry, rust effect, and then we can just add some more. Like that, just a little bit. And I'm using a very minimal amount. Okay, and then spray to react it. And because it's already reacted now, and I want some more here and right there. That won't hurt me. It's just vinegar. There we go. I wouldn't breathe this product in, like to stick your face in it, but it's not toxic. So that's one good thing too, guys. It does smell metallic, but it's not toxic for you to worry about breathing it in like alcohol inks. So I wanted to share that. It's not invasive at all. Oh, there's my here we go. And I'm just going to use a paintbrush, because then I can get this in here and have it controlled. So anywhere where I want it a little thicker, add a little bit more something, even in here. You can move it around. in a controlled way. Because you can use this both in an uncontrolled and a very controlled way. So I just wanted to let you guys know that. It's an amazing product. It's one of my favorite things now to use. And then the other thing I can do too, and we're going to be doing this more in the next video, but I can add the first layer right now. And I'm just going to use that same brush. Here we go. And I'm going to show you guys. If I move some of this stuff over, you guys will be able to see better. Sorry guys, I'm out of frame. And that's the worst. Here we go, guys. There we go. Okay. I'm going to take some of my dark brown effects base. And I'm just going to go like that. Put a little bit on my brush like this. Just like that. And I can start adding some texture in here. There we go. And I can start filling things in. And that'll cover that whole part of the book here that doesn't have anything on my front cover. Just right along here. Right along here. Just like that. Right along here. So as we go, we're just going to fill in blanks and keep adding. I'm just going to come right in here like that. There we go. Just to give it that base layer. And then I can cover everything else with paints and different products. Okay guys, I think I'm going to leave it at that for tonight. And we're just going to keep building layer upon layer upon layer upon layer. So I'm really excited. So thanks for joining me tonight, everyone. And you guys have a fabulous weekend. And again, I have a sale going on in my shop. I have my kits all listed for $6 each for this week. So thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you back this week. Thanks, everyone. Bye.